Greetings, friends, and welcome to Enigma Night Gaming. My name is Liara, and I will be your guide in today's adventure. Today, we're back in Detective Grimoire, and we are investigating the murder of the proprietor of a tourist attraction. It's kind of an unusual tourist attraction. It's basically an attraction for the equivalent of the swamp version of the Loch Ness Monster. It's yeah, and that's the prime suspect. Really? Well, let's go ahead and hop back in and see what else we can find, because trust me, we have already met quite a cast of unusual characters. All right, so now we're at the cafe. I don't want to walk. I wanted to look.
Predictably, a trash can, and I just can't resist taking a look inside.
We like digging through
The
trash.
glamorous life of a detective.
All right, so let's see what we got. Anything? Get all the trash out of the way, see if there's anything inside. Alright. I don't see anything in here. Alright, so it looks like that must be clear.
Grass, trees, nothing unusual.
Alright. A shipwreck in a swamp? Does that make any sense?
The tables and chairs are made out of parts of a ship. I
Okay.
think. Never really learned much about ships. Water everywhere, and not a drop to drink.
Boy.
Seriously, I'm not drinking that.
Yeah, I wouldn't either. I don't blame you, my
A
guy.
shipwreck? And why is
Oh.
there a cafe growing out of the side?
Uh-huh.
There's a little locked door on the side of the ship here. I think it's part of the cafe.
Okay.
A shipwreck? And why?
Alright. We got stairs up
There's a
here.
wooden path built right into the shipwreck. The rope bridge leads up through those trees. Do they expect tourists to climb up there? It looks dangerous.
Alright, anything about the
A
little
shipwreck?
flags? Alright,
And
no.
what?
Alright, so I guess... What does the sign
A
say?
shipwreck? And
Oh,
what?
I guess that we can't see the
Grass.
sign. Alright, let's go ahead and talk to the guy.
Ah, yes. I heard they were sending somebody over. So you're Detective Grimoire.
At
Indeed.
your service. Well, kind of. You're a suspect too.
Of course, of course. Feel free to be as suspicious as you like.
I mean, you
I'm
are carrying a
offended.
knife, my guy.
You can call me Harper.
How did you know my name?
I can only assume I must have read about one of your many exploits. But I think you'll find the swamp to be your greatest challenge.
I mean, it is so far. What's so challenging about an old swamp? You mean this murder case? I'm sure I can handle it. I love challenge. I eat challenge for breakfast.
I love challenge. I eat challenge for breakfast.
The swamp itself has a history that has captured many imaginations. For better
Yeah.
or for worse. My advice to you, look to the past.
The
It
past,
could be
huh?
the way forward.
Well, there
I'm
is that
supposed
thing.
to look to the past, right?
Okay, so there was the thing about Boggy 60 years ago, right? So let's see. Killed the swamp creature when, built the museum because, was living in the swamp when, founded Boggy's Bog when. Okay. Well, the swamp creature is definitely not dead. Let's see. Look to the past. Richard Remington built the museum because Boggy became a famous character, was discovered by the explorer 60 years ago. Would it be the swamp creature? Was hunted and killed. Well, it was definitely 60 years ago, not 20. Was living in the swamp when, founded Boggy's Bog when. Is it this?
Richard Remington built the museum because the swamp creature was discovered by the explorers 60 years ago. I don't get it. Seriously.
Okay, so not quite. Well, she also was around 60 years ago. Is there something about her? Lady Weybridge was living in the swamp when the swamp creature was discovered. Okay.
Lady Weybridge was living in the swamp when the swamp creature was discovered by the explorers 60 years ago.
Yes.
Lady Weybridge. She was living here when Boggy was first discovered by the explorer.
Alright, so I think okay, good. We finally unlocked the challenge with her. Like, we didn't unlock it when we were talking to her. So let's see. Now, we've got a challenge to unlock. Let's tell his job.
Sit in this boat all day and sell food to people? To tourists, I guess?
Not just the tourists, but the employees too. To anyone who is hungry or thirsty. I know everyone's favorite foods.
What
Okay.
are they? Oh, and is this a real shipwreck? How did it get here?
I can't expose all the secrets of the swamp. I don't want to spoil your fun.
Is there a secret to this shipwreck?
No.
You just spoiled my fun.
You'll find out there are some secrets worth keeping when you've worked here as long as I have.
How long have you
how
worked
long
here?
Is that?
I've worked in the swamp
60 years?
almost as long as Mr. Remington. We knew each other for a long time.
Okay.
Really? So what was his favorite food?
Mr. Remington enjoyed a specialty only I can make.
Okay.
The bog dog. He ate one nearly every day. A real creature of habit, that one.
It looks like a hot dog.
It's similar, but I'm afraid I have to disappoint you. I'm not serving them today.
Aw.
Why not?
Because he died?
Yesterday I found this strange green powder in my entire supply.
Guess I'm out of luck today. Well, thanks for the information.
Strange green
You've been a
powder,
real big
huh?
help.
Wait, take this with you. If you get thirsty, it's the most popular drink in Boggy's Bog.
Okay.
Swamp juice. Try it.
It looks like... It looks...
It looks like sludge.
Well, I'll try some later on.
You're
Yes.
in luck. That's my last bottle. A lot of swamp juice has been disappearing from my stock recently. I can
Interesting.
only assume I must have been selling them all.
Did something strange happen at the cafe yesterday?
Okay, so murdered the victim because was the reason that left the cafe feeling ill after someone left. Bobby Burley left the cafe feeling ill after after a bog dog. Okay, after Harper sold him a bog dog? Maybe? Let's see.
Bobby Burl left the cafe feeling
But
ill
didn't no, he
after
didn't leave
Hopper
feeling
sold him
Oh,
a
it was
bog
Richard.
dog.
Richard left feeling ill.
I think that...
Whoops, I forgot. Thank you for the follow, Misty. It was Richard Remington.
Richard Remington left the cafe feeling ill after Hopper
Yeah.
sold him a bog dog.
Because it had the green
Hopper
powder
is
on it,
basically
right?
in charge of all the food and drink here in Boggy's Bog. I'll have to ask him about this.
Alright. So, let's go ahead and ask
You're
about
going
last
to ask
night.
me about what I was doing last night.
Of course we
I
are.
was going to. Were you going to tell me anything?
I was working here at the cafe in the evening.
Of course you were.
And I had a couple customers. Eventually they all left and I locked up and went home.
Do you
Uh-huh.
lock away everything at night?
Not everything, just the storeroom over there.
You
Okay.
mean that little door on the side of the ship? Is there anything else to lock?
I leave the chairs, tables, and trash can where they are.
Okay.
Lifting things like that is not a job for an old man.
I mean, I
Don't
guess
you
that's
have
fine.
anyone to help you?
Mr. Remington liked to keep us down to his skeleton staff. There simply
Yeah, that makes
aren't many
sense.
people who would choose to work in a place like this.
Mm,
A
Plus,
skeleton staff?
you know,
Well, that's
The
convenient
pay.
for him since...
Don't make that joke. I won't laugh.
Alright, how about the buggy costume?
Someone made a costume to look like the creature. They must have known it would get a reaction for sure. But I wonder if they planned things to go this far.
When you're finished theorizing, I was going to show you these sketches I found
Yeah,
in
there's
the trash
the
can
costume.
right next to your cafe.
Oh, that's why. We already
Hmm.
checked the
It
trash
does
can.
seem like someone was designing a costume. A disguise, perhaps.
I don't know.
Try to think why somebody would do such a thing.
To impersonate
I
Boggy?
don't know.
What could they achieve with it?
I don't know.
Fame?
Not yet.
Alright, and we are missing an item here. What kind of clues can we ask him about?
I can't help you with that one.
Alright.
Sorry.
Anything about
Why
the
don't
film
you show that
footage?
to someone else? You don't know everything, I'm afraid.
I just showed that to you and you told me about it, my guy. Here's the
I
gloves.
can't help you with that one.
I mean,
Sorry.
these are like the actual costume parts. How about
Why
the
don't you
Explorer's
show that
Journal?
to someone else?
No? Okay. Folders
You don't
file.
know everything, I'm afraid.
Alright. What about... Tell me about
It
the
was
bog dog?
Mr. Remington's favorite food. That strange green powder isn't supposed to be there.
Yeah. But yet you gave it to us. Are you trying to poison us?
It's the most popular drink that I sell. In fact, a lot of it has disappeared from my stocks recently.
Suspicious. What about the flower?
I
Anything
can't
about
help
the
you with
flowers
that
around
one.
here?
Sorry.
Okay. What about...
Why don't you show that to
Just
someone
for
else?
giggles, the map? No, okay. I think that's probably it for that. How about a profile? Let's see. Tell me about
I
yourself.
don't know very much about them.
It's yourself. How do you not know very much about
You
them?
have a lot of suspects on that list.
Indeed. Alright, now he was in your cafe. You
I don't
should
know
know
what to
about
say.
him. Really? You can't say anything about him? What about her?
I don't know very much about them.
Okay. Do you know Agent
You
Boulder?
have a lot of suspects on that list.
You don't know anybody, do you?
You're
Boggy?
a prime suspect, am I correct?
Indeed.
Well, technically, but I'm not even sure he's real.
Don't worry about that. Real or not, the creature's the most important part of this mystery.
Which one? The cartoon character or the real creature?
Exactly.
Okay. That totally answered all my
He
questions
was
there.
a friend for many years. If you have any questions about him or his belongings, I may be able to help you.
Okay. His belongings, huh? Do we have any of his belongings? I don't think so. Alright.
I
We
was
may have
told
to come
Remington
back.
left the cafe looking ill last night. Since you seem to be completely in charge of all the food and drink around here, I'm afraid this is something I can't ignore.
He
Exactly.
was an old man. His health wasn't perfect. But I'm not arguing with you. I think it is suspicious. What do you think caused it?
What do I think caused it?
I think it was the powder on the hot dog. That's what I
A bog
think.
dog he ate at the cafe gave him food poisoning.
I keep all my food locked in the storeroom when I'm not here.
Right?
You think he was poisoned?
I think he was poisoned.
Poisoned by me?
I have proof it was you that poisoned his food. The storeroom was broken into with a lockpick. You left the food stocks outside. They're probably broken into with a lockpick, right?
The storeroom was broken into with a lockpick.
A lockpick? I've never encountered a problem like this before. But since last night, am I in a position to doubt a claim like that?
Probably
Somebody
not.
knew that Remington would eat a bog dog.
I
He
mean,
ate one every day.
he was a
right?
creature of
Do you
habit.
suppose this explains the missing bottles of swamp juice as well?
Could be. Alright, so we have gotten a lot of information. I feel like we're gonna have to come back to him. A popular drink sold at the cafe in Boggy's Bog has the appearance of a strange liquid slime. Harper says a lot of swamp juice has disappeared from his stock recently. We're still missing some information. The type of hot dog sold at the cafe in Boggy's Bog. Remington's favorite food. He ate one last night as usual. Since last night, the stock of bog dogs are covered in some unknown green powder. Alright. So, I guess, let's look at our map. Is there anywhere else? We haven't been down here. So let's check that out down here. Then I think we've made a full cycle. Okay.
I'm not going to worry about how frail that wooden path looks. Nope. It's a humble gift shop wagon. Let's take a look.
Okay.
Brightly colored boggy baseball caps. Is there something behind them?
Maybe. Can we,
Brightly colored. Is there?
can we, what is
What
this?
on earth? This thing doesn't seem to belong here at all.
It looks like a buggy mask. It's a missing piece.
It's some kind of roughly made costume head, I think.
Yep.
And there's a strange piece of red fabric stuffed inside. 2 clues for the price of 1, I guess.
Indeed. Alright.
A Boggy's Bog mug. Maybe I'll get one and surprise Officer James for Christmas. A Boggy's Bog?
Oh, that's the same kind? What about this?
Boggy dolls, Boggy toys, Boggy postcards. Yeah, this stuff isn't half bad.
Alright.
Boggy doll.
Alright, we got that.
Boggy doll.
Same thing.
It's a map of the swamp. Mine seems a little older than this one, though.
Okay.
It's a framed drawing of Boggy.
Alright.
What a shame, it's not even signed. It's a photo of the swamp entrance. Or it could be a painting.
Could be.
There's really no way to tell, you know? Well, I wouldn't wear it. Maybe to sleep in, you know, not outside.
We're not going to advertise our
Boggy
trip
dolls,
to
Boggy toys, Boggy postcards. Yeah.
All right. So, a headpiece from a homemade Boggy costume found hidden amongst the Boggy hats in the gift shop has an unusual lining with a red swirly pattern. The red lining was a piece ripped from some curtains. Was it the curtains at his apartment? Or his little, living area, I think?
What?
Who are you?
Sorry to interrupt. I can see that you're, hard at work.
You weren't here yesterday.
Oh no, I only just arrived. I know, I was in my office yesterday. Did you miss me?
Oh, no, I only just arrived.
You're the detective, right?
Yes.
I'm a detective.
So, that was your hat I saw blowing through here.
You spotted it too.
If you're good at your job, you may have realized that it's kind of dead around here. So, I generally notice magical floating detective hats. Oh, and don't worry, you look better without it.
How do you know?
Oh, I have a good imagination.
Uh-huh.
I didn't expect to see someone your age working in a place like this. But then again, I didn't expect there to be a place like this in a place like this.
I only started working here this year anyway. It's temporary. Just running the gift shop to earn a little extra money. Don't ask how I ended up here.
Oh
I'll
boy.
save that question for a different day. You don't seem at home here exactly.
Okay.
I hate it. This place is disgusting.
Yeah.
Come on, you don't think it's kind of beautiful?
You would say that. You only just got here.
Of course.
You'll get sick of it.
If I wasn't here, I'd be stuck in my office doing paperwork.
That's
At
true.
least at your office, you don't have to bring spare clothes every day. It's impossible to leave this place without being covered in dirt.
And that makes
Challenge
sense.
accepted. When you have a moment free from your busy schedule, I need to ask you about last night.
I know, but it won't help. I worked
Oh?
here during the day, then left my gift shop and went home in the evening.
Where's
Same as every
home?
day.
You just leave your gift shop here when you go?
No, I put it in my pocket.
Yeah, seriously though, as much as I appreciate sarcasm, I think I'd get in trouble if I wrote something like that down in my notes.
Well, look, you've noticed the gift shop has wheels, and you're thinking, oh, she's pretty lazy to leave it lying around. But if you want to try pushing this thing through the swamp, be my guest. And I
Yeah.
can't lock it up, so I just leave it here overnight.
Oh,
Nobody's ever stolen any of this lousy merchandise anyway. I even left my spare clothes here when I went home last night.
You
Really?
left them here, by the gift shop.
Yeah, it's no big deal. They were all still here this morning. Kind of.
kind of.
I think someone played a stupid joke, and my
Uh.
spare black leggings were covered in some disgusting swamp slime when I found them in the bag this morning.
Huh.
If you're going to take my clothes and mess them up, then just keep them. I don't want them back.
Well,
know what I
that's
mean?
part of the costume.
I absolutely do.
All right. A pair of Sally's black leggings. Sally says someone played a joke on her since they are covered in a strange liquid slime. Sally left these leggings in her bag and left that bag in the swamp last night. All right. Makes sense. Now the
I
buggy
have a
costume.
theory that the murderer was wearing a costume.
Yep, we got that.
A homemade outfit designed to
I
look
think
like the
we have
swamp
everything
creature.
but this piece now.
I've never seen anything so ridiculous. You've never seen me in that.
I know it's not exactly the latest fashion, but...
No, you'd never see me in that. It would cover me up entirely.
That's the point of a disguise?
Look, detective. When you have legs like mine, you don't want to be wearing disguises.
Is that why you always wear those black leggings?
You've only just met me and you're making assumptions about what I always wear.
And making assumptions is the fun part of being a detective.
Indeed.
Well, you're right. I always wear these.
Well, there you go. Alright, so we have almost, well, I guess we have all the pieces we're going to get. I guess there's a yellow chess piece that we haven't gotten. Alright, let's see what she has to say about the costume piece.
That is not something from my gift shop.
But it was there.
I've seen it before.
Alright, what about, this?
Is that one of your clues? It's nice. You can put it away now.
At least she's nice about it.
They're mine, but I left them here last night. Now they're covered in slime, and I don't want to go near them.
Of course, I wouldn't either. I cannot blame you. I totally would not want to go near them either. Do you know anything about the flippers?
That is.
It's part of his costume.
I can draw way better than that.
Can you show me?
There's no time. Maybe in the sequel.
Alright. Well, let's see. Let's just ask about some of this other stuff. We got a boggy hat.
These hats look pretty stupid. Luckily, kids seem to like stupid stuff.
You sell a lot of them?
Yeah, they're pretty popular.
Okay. Probably one of the most popular things.
Where are you keeping all this stuff?
Exactly.
In your pockets?
I wondered the same thing.
Is that one of your clues? It's nice. You can put it away now.
Alright, I'm gonna just ask her about everything because she seems to have some
I have
interesting
no idea what that
information about just random stuff.
is. Where are you keeping all this stuff? In your pockets?
Let's ask her about the curtain.
Is that one of your clues?
It's nice. You can put it
You
away
can
now.
Put it away now.
Alright, so she probably
have no
isn't
idea
gonna
what
know
that
about the
is.
lockpick. Alright, that's fine. What about the journal?
Where are you keeping all this stuff? In your pockets?
And we got this information.
This was taken near the forest at the back of the swamp, correct?
Okay.
Yes, I think so.
Mm-hmm. The water is really clear back there. The legs of this thing are reflected in the bottom half of the photo. It's a nice shot, actually.
A reflection? Oh, yeah, of course. A reflection in the water.
Okay. That was interesting.
Is that one of your clues?
Okay.
It's nice.
So
You can put it away now.
we got some new information. Let's ask her about all the different people. Now we know almost all the people. We're missing one person.
Her. I don't know why she still works here, to be honest. One murder is one murder too many.
Alright. What about Harper?
I really don't know what to tell you.
Alright. Do you know Van de
Is that one
Beer?
of the other suspects? They're more suspicious than me. Let's agree on that.
Well, I can't fault you there.
Is that your new friend? Sweet.
I love her responses. They're so funny.
I really don't know what to tell you.
Alright.
Is that one of the other suspects? They're more suspicious than me. Let's agree on that.
Okay. Agreed.
I think the cartoon character is kind of dumb.
And what about the real creature?
I've never met him.
Me neither.
Well, that makes two of us.
I'm
Alright.
not sure I always got paid, so I can't say anything bad about him.
You can if you like. He won't hear you.
You should have more respect for the dead.
I know.
Indeed. Alright, so we haven't unlocked her challenge item yet, but that's okay. We can come back here. Let us go, let's see. I think we'll go to the treehouse and we will see if we can get her challenge done. Oh, we have the
I
boggy
found these
costume.
designs for a boggy costume. Do you know anything about them?
You're asking me because you can tell I'm experienced with needlecraft and sew my own clothes?
No, but that's a good reason. Let's go with that.
Well, these designs look like they should have stayed where they were.
In the trash?
On paper.
Oh, how come?
Whoever drew them didn't really know what they were doing.
You
Okay.
would have done it differently?
Of course, I am a seamstress. There was a time when I considered sewing my craft, my livelihood.
Really?
Okay.
When Richard Remington arrived in the swamp years ago, I offered him some of my handmade fabric as a peace offering. I don't think he cared much for
I
it.
wonder if that's the
Most likely
curtains
he
are.
threw it away. A pointless gift from some strange woman.
I'm gonna ask her about the curtains.
You can put that away. I
Oh.
can't help you with it.
Alright. What about the headpiece? We're
No,
gonna have
thank
to
you.
examine all of these things. The
If
boggy
you bring
hat?
me something with liquid on it, I might be able to help you.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and find out about
Let's
the
see.
swamp juice.
First thing we do is put the sample of liquid into the cauldron,
Okay?
then tap the faucet.
Alright. So there's our sample.
And now, we just have to match the
It's gonna
color
be
of that
the same
liquid
stuff,
with these
right?
ingredients.
It's gonna be the exact same stuff. Yeah.
Got it! Now I know what that liquid consists of.
Yep.
I'll write it down in my notes.
Alright.
Was that the same as last time?
Yep.
This was the exact same liquid.
Everything's the same liquid. Alright, let's ask her
You can
about the
put that
bog
away.
dog.
I can't
Okay.
help you with it.
Well, I was hoping we could analyze the poison on it, but I guess not. Alright, let's go
Let's
ahead
see.
and examine the leggings. It's gonna be the
First,
same thing.
tap,
Because it's all green stuff. So,
and now,
now let's just put this in and this in, because red and yellow make green.
got it!
There we go.
Now I know what that liquid consists of. I'll write it down
They're
in my
all
notes.
the same.
What's going on here? That was definitely the same as the other tests.
It was indeed. Alright, is there any other stuff?
No, thank you.
Alright, what about, do you know Harper?
Show it to someone who doesn't live in a tree.
I guess that makes sense. You probably wouldn't visit him very
I'm
much.
not even sure who that is.
Okay, I just had to check. We have unlocked the challenge, though. So let's...
I've been looking into the history of this place.
Oh, really? Did you find anything?
Yeah,
Indeed.
you.
You must be confused. You found me today when you barged into my house. Remember?
Indeed. You created the myth of the swamp creature yourself to scare people away. Ooh, I didn't think about that. You were living in the swamp when the explorer visited 60 years ago. You were the original founder of the tourist attraction.
You were already living in the swamp when the explorer came here 60 years ago.
Yep,
The explorer? That man they talk about in the museum?
of course.
The one who originally discovered Boggy. You know who I'm talking about. His sketches and notes are the only real evidence we have for this creature.
Yes.
You already have his journal. You learned to read, I assume. What else do you need?
I think you wrote something in the journal yourself. I need you to tell me if the journal is a fake. There's a page missing from the journal. I think you know where it is. Maybe.
And there's a page missing from the journal. I think you know where it is.
Why on earth would I know something like that?
Because
Well?
you were the only person here when the explorer visited the swamp. I
Exactly.
have a suspicion that the swamp creature wasn't the only thing he discovered.
Oh,
You're
that makes sense.
suggesting he gave me a page from the back of his journal. Or what, that I stole it?
That it was about you, right? You stole it from him before he left the swamp. You took it from the journal while it was on display in the museum. I really have no idea. If I could see it, I might be able to make up my mind.
You stole it from him before
No,
he left the
okay.
swamp.
Okay, so
Let's think
no,
about this one again.
no, she took it from. Well, so it would be the
I've
museum
been looking
then,
into the
right?
history of the...
Right.
I have a suspicion that the swamp creature wasn't the only thing he discovered.
You're
Did he discover
suggesting he
flowers?
gave me a page from the back of his journal. Or what, that I stole it?
I really have no idea.
I really have no idea. If I could see it, I might be able to make up my mind.
It doesn't belong in a museum.
Ah,
It
okay.
belongs here, with me.
Okay.
You understand?
What if I promise I'll return it after I finish clearing up this mess?
Then I'll show it to you.
Aw.
Is this you? He drew you into his journal? It's
Aw.
beautiful.
60 years ago, yes.
Oh,
He
she's so
left
sad.
the page with me.
Nice.
We agreed the rest of the world would manage without it.
I think there's something on the back.
Okay.
What's this?
It's Boggy's feet.
Footprints.
Exactly. Alright, the lost page ripped out of the Explorer's Journal, giving to Weybridge by the Explorer 60 years ago. Is she like some kind of dryad or something, I wonder? Features a drawing of Lady Weybridge at 20 years old, so that makes her 80 now. Also features drawings of Boggy's feet and footprints. He has 2 toes at the front and 1 at the back, okay? This page proves the footprints found outside the office were not made by the real Boggy. Nice. Okay, so,
He drew me into his journal. I was 20 years old. That's the end of the story.
I bet it's not. Does this explorer have a name?
Yes?
Are you going to tell me?
No.
So now I guess it's the end of the story. Alright, I think we have gotten everything from her that we can right now. We've almost gotten all of the evidence. Let's see. Let's head back to outside the office. And these are obviously fake now.
There are bizarre footprints with 3 toes leading up to the office door. And back down into those reeds by the water.
Okay, so, let's see. Let's look at our notes. There are 3-toed footprints leading up to the office and back down to the reeds by the water. Okay. Let's look. This is the curtain,
There's an open window above Remington's body.
right?
One of the curtains is ripped and hanging on the outside.
Right, that matches what we found. We already
What's
checked
this?
this, right? Yeah, we checked that. And what is this?
There are bizarre footprints with 3 toes leading up to the office door. And back down into those reeds.
Okay, is that the same
There are
footprint?
bizarre and
Okay.
even though I have the key, this might not be as simple as I'd hoped.
Well, let's
This
see.
door has 2 keyholes. So,
Okay.
which key should I use in each one?
Alright. Well, let's see. This one would be there. And then this one would be here, right? Alright. What is
Remington's desk is covered in drawings and maps and notes. It's all about Boggy. He was obsessed.
this? A little bit.
An ink bottle spilled into his work. I'm sure he didn't do that on purpose.
Maybe with the confrontation?
Yeesh, it's a bit of a mess. Perhaps there's something underneath those drawings.
Alright, let's see. We got a card here. Alright.
It's a letter Remington was writing before something caused him to spill his ink bottle. My dear fellow, I received your note 2 weeks ago, but have only recently found the time to do the appropriate research on the matter.
Hey, Ian. Welcome in.
I feel like my time in this awful swamp might finally come to a close. All due to the simple realization... the rest is obscured. What a tease.
I wonder if there's a way to clean that off. Like, we got
Vincent
this.
Vanderpeer's business card.
Uh-huh.
There's a couple of numbers scribbled on the back.
Alright.
Vincent There's
Wonder what
It's
it
a
is.
note addressed to Richard Remington.
Okay.
The handwriting is immaculate. Richard, our man of the world. A little help is in order.
Okay.
We're worried that the efforts regarding our elusive little friend might be in vain.
Oh,
Send word when you can. The letter is signed FF.
FF.
And attached is a blurry little picture. It's some kind of metallic insect. The whole thing's
Okay.
a mystery. I have no idea.
Alright. What else do we
It's
got?
a letter Remington with my iris, but if I've
I didn't mean to.
It's
can
a
we-
letter Remington with
I-
my iris,
I'm
but if
clicking
only
the
I feel
ink,
like all
not
due
the
to-
letter, my friend. Alright,
It's
I guess that's
some
all we
12
can get. So we got the...
Vincent Van. There's a couple of.
What's the... I don't know what's written there.
This is the creepiest office I've ever been in. Ever. This is the creepiest.
We got a bear skin on the rug. There's a
An old
rifle.
hunting rifle, discarded carelessly near the window. This isn't the kind of thing I can ignore.
Was he sitting by the window trying to shoot something? Okay. Fabric found stuffed inside the Boggy Head costume piece, ripped from the curtains in Remington's office. Distinctive red Shirley pattern. Waybridge says this is the handmade fabric she gave to Remington as a peace offering when he arrived. It is thin and rips easily. Okay.
An old hunting rifle. This.
What about the
Something
chair?
happened here.
Yeah, it definitely did.
There are signs of a struggle between the desk and the window.
Yeah. Alright.
It's a sharp metal poker for a fireplace, hidden in the shadows.
Okay.
Something about those 3 prongs. I feel like I just stumbled across an incredibly important piece of evidence.
Alright, so we have a fireplace poker hidden in Remington's office. It has 3 small prongs on the end. There is a small amount of dried blood on the tips of the prongs, covered in a strange liquid slime. The 3 prongs match up with Remington's wounds. Could this be the murder weapon? I think it might be. Alright, so the slime mixture that we keep finding is a mixture of sugar, green food coloring, and carbonated water. Boulder says this was his lockpick, but he lost it a while ago and had to buy a new one. Okay.
Hunting memorabilia. Claws, teeth. It would be an impressive collection if it wasn't so disturbing.
Alright.
Hunting
Stuffed
memorabilia.
cat.
It would be These animals. They're all... They're not... I don't recognize any of them.
Alright. That one only has one eye. How weird.
This is the creepiest off.
We got a fireplace here.
Photos and
pictures
paintings
here.
line the wall above the fireplace, but one of the frames is empty.
Oh,
Wait a second. What are these pieces on the floor underneath it? This
okay.
photo is ripped, but it looks important. If
Alright,
I
let's
can
put it
piece
together.
again, maybe it'll reveal a secret.
Alright, well, let's do it. That's the corner piece. This side. There we go. Up here. This one. And right there. Okay, this goes here. You are right here. Okay, this one and this one. It looks like a hunting party.
This photograph, it's a young Remington
Uh-huh.
and some other men I don't know. They're all holding rifles.
Looks like he's part of a hunting
Maybe I
club.
can ask Harper about it.
Okay. Alright. What is that? Is that the young... I guess that's the young Remington, First Order of Cryptozoological Hunters, Headquarters
Have I
1963.
uncovered a secret in here?
Let's see. Something explains why shouldn't be the reason. Is it historical evidence that disproves that? What have we figured out? Remington's desk. The hunting rifle. Okay, the hunting photo is historical evidence that... all the suspects... was a ghost? Belonged to a secret society. Okay. That Richard Remington. So, there we go.
The hunting photo is historical evidence that Richard Remington belonged to a secret society.
Alright.
I'm getting a strong feeling that Remington might be the bad guy in this story.
Was
If
he
wasn't
trying
already
to
dead,
hunt
I would have loved
Boggy?
to ask him a couple of questions.
Hmm.
I should ask around. See if I can gather any information about his motives for being here.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he was trying to hunt for Boggy. Richard Remington's real reasons. Alright, let's see.
No way. No way. Is this a werewolf? These animals, I don't...
Alright,
The open window looks over the wooden planks outside.
right.
Oh, and on one side, a part of the curtain has been ripped off.
Which we have. It was in the Boggy costume. What's
Something
right here?
happened here. There are signs of a struggle between the desk and the window.
Okay. I think he was trying to hunt Boggy.
I don't know what's in that jar, and I wish it wasn't in there. I'm gonna stop looking at it now.
Of course. Any more information
This is the
about the
creepiest-
photos? No. Alright, let's look at our notes. Is there anything else that we need to get from here? I think we've gotten all the information. We still need to check out, or maybe there's no clues to be had there. Okay, so we have clues at the entrance. We could check out the entrance just for funsies. Let's go ahead and do that real fast, I guess. Alright. We're getting there. Let's go back to the entrance and see what we can find.
Is an opportunity for a photographic memento. The two
Boy.
characters are an explorer and Boggy himself. Are they fighting?
Are they? Or are they hugging like they're friends?
It's an old statue of Boggy. His feet are hidden in a bucket of murky water.
Of course, because nobody knew what they were because it was on the back of the page. Alright, so I think that's all of our notes for here. Might be worth to speak with the suspects again. Yeah. Wait, wasn't... Okay, let's look at the notes. Let's see where we lack notes still. Okay, the fork in the road. Let's go to the fork in the road. Just because I'm a completionist and I want to make sure I get everything. Alright. We'll talk to all the suspects again as well. Anything in the water?
Note to self, don't fall in.
Alright, noted.
Apparently, there's a museum to the left and a cafe to the right.
Alright.
I'm not hungry though. This place is putting me off food.
Probably the bog dog
There's
is
a
too.
hollow part of the tree, right at the front, but it's too dark to see inside.
Okay, so we still need light, maybe?
It's the base of a gigantic tree, and it's sitting in the very heart of the swamp.
Alright.
Was this entire place built around it?
Okay. I think that might have been our last note for here. Yes. Everything else seems to be in a wide circle around the tree. Is that where Boggy lives, I wonder? So protest? Okay. We haven't done any clues at protest. Let's go see what's over there. We've been there, but let's see. Aha, I haven't talked to you at all.
You've arrived at a bad time, my friend.
Oh?
For once, they don't actually want tourists walking around this place.
Well,
I always arrive at a bad time. It's what I do. I'm a detective, not a tourist.
My apologies. It's just, you have the same wide-eyed expression as the kids that come here.
really?
Running around, spending their parents' money, you know.
Well, it's not every day I visit a swamp full of such
Colorful
unique
people?
specimens.
Yeah, that's a way of putting it.
It's no problem. You're just thinking what we all thought when we arrived for the first time.
Why didn't they put in a bathroom?
No, you're thinking, this place is beautiful. What a lucky man I am to be here.
You are
I
like the
am I?
polar
Well, if
opposite
you
of
say
what's
so.
her name, Sally?
Edward Everstone, at your service.
That's a pretty cool name. Can I call you Ed?
You don't need to. Everyone just calls me Echo.
Okay. Why? Because it gives you an elevated sense of purpose. Why? Because you're a good swimmer. Why? Because you'd bounce if I threw you at a wall. Well, Greek mythology echo, right?
Why? Because you're a good swimmer?
What? No. Because I always come back.
Oh,
Again
okay.
and again, until my job is done.
Wasn't Echo like a nymph of some sort? I don't know if she swam in the water or not. All right. So tell me about your
You're
job.
protesting, right?
I certainly am. And now that you're here, I'm getting you involved.
What does
Okay.
that mean? Yeah, I haven't got time to hold up signs for you. I'm sorry.
You simply have to hear my message and
Okay.
take it with you.
What is the message?
Go ahead. I'm all ears. Plus,
Save
I
the
have a
swamp.
little
Stop
notebook.
swamping the swamp.
What was the first thing you felt when you saw the sign for Boggy's Bog looming over you?
Well, I thought it
Not
was...
thought, felt.
I felt... Well, something seemed wrong. There wouldn't be a tourist attraction in the middle of a swamp like this. There shouldn't be.
My job is done. Clearly your brain is working perfectly, Detective.
So you're against the tourist attraction?
Welcome
Now,
back,
let's see.
Ian.
We'd rather this area was kept as a natural habitat,
We're investigating bugs.
Right again. And that precise word, habitat. First and foremost, I'm protesting for animal rights.
Okay.
Well, okay, I'm following
Boggy's
you,
not.
but
I
it's
guess
not like
he's
they're
an
cutting down
animal,
trees
sort of.
or anything like that, right?
All animals deserve the right to live in peace, and I promise you, on a normal day, this place is far from peaceful.
Are
Well-
you talking about the swamp creature? About Boggy?
A creature like that. He's earned the right to be left alone.
Well,
We're
probably.
fools to invite ourselves into his home like this on a daily basis, assuming he's not going to mind. Assuming he'll keep to himself and let us walk around with his face
So
on our
Boggy
t-shirts.
Is a
Well,
swamp
I agree.
monster.
I think he should be left alone. But like you said,
It's like the
he can
Loch
probably
Ness of the
handle
swamp.
himself. And if no one has even seen him in 60 years, I
Loch
don't really
Ness
see the
monster.
problem.
Unlike you, Detective, I never had an academic calling in life. I was never even a
He's-
talented
he's a
artist or
murder,
musician or
suspect.
anything. So instead, I made the decision to stand up for those who were
cryptid,
getting
yep.
a raw deal.
All right. So actually, we have all of our questions unlocked now, so this is good.
You come here every day.
Yes, I do.
Well, I'm only going to ask you about one of those days. What were you doing yesterday evening?
I was here at my protest spot until fairly late. Then I went to get something to eat at Harper's Cafe before I...
Wait, you ate at the cafe here?
You didn't get
Doesn't
sick?
supporting the tourist attraction like that kind of go against your protest?
A man has to eat, doesn't he? I don't think the meager contributions of one person are going to keep this place afloat. Especially now.
I mean,
And
if everybody
you're
had that
sleeping here?
philosophy.
Doesn't it get cold at night?
Well, I came prepared, of course. I usually find myself with 1 or 2 extra layers to wear. Most of this bulk is padding, I promise
He's
you.
got a nice
I'm
little
sure it is.
yellow.
So you stayed here the
poncho
whole
there.
night?
That's right. And I admit I may have heard some stranger than usual sounds floating around the swamp last night.
What kind of sounds?
It's impossible to say. This place fills with the most terrifying sounds at night. Hundreds of animals, some tiny, some much larger,
Well,
awaken
yeah.
and make their own protests.
Sounds
Every
awful.
night until the sun rises in the morning.
Insects make noises at night. Okay, I've written it down.
Good,
What
good
can
talk.
you tell me about these designs
See,
for a
he's got a
costume?
nice little
A
yellow
boggy
poncho
costume.
there.
I must admit, I've been a fan of his before I ever came to the swamp.
A fan?
Of the
So you're
cartoon?
interested in cryptozoology?
Oh, no, I meant, well...
He meant the
Boggy has
cartoon,
made
right?
All kinds of
Mhm.
cartoons and comic strips. He's one of the greatest characters of the last 100 years. I've got some comics in my tent. You really should
So you're-
see.
He was
you're
only
a comic
discovered
nerd.
60 years ago.
Oh, that's true. Well, I rounded up.
But what about his
Uh.
costume? Have you seen anyone wearing it?
I can honestly say I've never seen anyone wearing anything like that. And I'm a very observant person.
Is that because you were wearing it?
So what did Mr. Remington think of you? I mean, protesting in the middle of a swamp every day.
It wasn't his swamp.
Well,
If he ever truly thought it was, then he was even more of a fool than he seemed.
But he didn't like you hanging around, right?
That man was exceptionally skilled at ignoring me.
I
Ignoring
imagine
anything
so.
he didn't like.
So, what? He just left you alone?
He expected me to get bored and go home. He figured I'd get sick of this place and he'd have it back to himself.
But he didn't want it to himself, did he? He wanted lots of people to come visit all the time, surely.
right, right.
I'm sure it
Tourist
says that in the
attraction.
brochure. Yes.
All right, what kinds of clues? Do you know anything? I
No
mean, I
thanks,
know we
my
just
friend.
asked about that, but Do you know anything about
I'm
these
afraid I
pieces?
have no idea.
I'm gonna ask him about everything because I feel like
Show it to somebody else.
sometimes they give random information
No thanks, my friend.
about things you wouldn't expect.
I'm afraid I have no idea.
Like, for example, he could have been like, oh yeah, those are my flippers from, you
Show
know,
it to somebody else.
when I was swimming the triathlon or something.
No thanks,
I
my
don't know.
friend.
So far, it seems like we're coming
I'm
up with
afraid
dead
I have
ends.
no idea.
But you never know. And I'm just gonna... I love
Why
how
are
it
you
grays
carrying
it out.
that around with you?
I have a suspicion it may have been the murder weapon.
Really? I thought Remington was attacked by something with claws, wasn't
Well... Not exactly.
he?
What?
You're not a bad detective.
Well, I found the photo in Remington's office.
Why is it getting
It was
dark
hooked
all
up,
of a
though.
sudden?
I think he was some kind
He
of...
was a lot of things.
Are you the
Don't
criminal?
lose that picture. And show it to Mr. Harper before you leave.
Okay. So maybe we're gonna tarnish his opinion.
Show it to somebody else.
Remington, maybe? Like, he's gonna be like,
No thanks, my friend.
well, now I know. We're still missing one item. So we
I'm
have one
afraid I
item
have
that
no
we have to
idea.
find. You know, about the
Show
swamp
it to
juice.
somebody else.
Alright. Did you eat a bog dog
No
at
thanks,
the
my friend.
cafe? Okay.
I'm
Anything
afraid
about
I
this?
have no idea.
Alright. What about, can you tell me about the map?
Show it to somebody else.
Nothing? Alright. Now, what about this black and white photo?
No thanks, my friend.
Now, see, I thought you would have been interested in that. What about the
I'm
footage?
afraid I have no idea.
Alright. What about the Explorer's Journal?
This is the journal, correct?
Yes.
The one that man left here 60 years ago?
You seem a little unsure of the details. Shouldn't you have read up on all this stuff?
One would
Forgive
think.
me. It's hard for me to get the image of Boggy as the lovable cartoon character out of my mind. He's just so iconic. Did you know, in 1973, he...
But you're protesting to protect the real swamp creature. The
Right.
cartoon character is just some commercial
Drawing,
byproduct,
right?
right?
Yes, of course.
Okay. So what about the missing
Show
page?
it to somebody else.
Okay. So you don't even care about the footprints. Alright. Now, what about the people? Do you know
You're asking
Sally?
the wrong person.
Okay, don't know Sally. Tell me about
A
yourself.
man who has sacrificed luxuries to protect those who need protecting.
Okay.
Pretty good beard, too.
Alright. So modest, too. What about Harper? You
He
know
seems
Harper.
like a good person. He even sympathizes with my cause.
He
Really?
agrees with your protest? But he works here, right? And he was friends with Remington.
I think
Right?
that was the only reason he worked here. Maybe he'll see the light now and leave the swamp behind him. Maybe everyone will.
Maybe. I'm sure, that Sally would be more than happy
You're
to.
wasting your time with that one.
Okay. What about Bobby
I have
Park?
nothing to say about them.
Okay. Lady
You're
Waybridge?
asking the wrong person.
Don't know her. I mean, you seem like a pretty ignorant sort of fellow.
Ah, yes. Agent Folder.
Okay.
A good man.
You know him?
Alright.
We get on rather well. And we shared
I
a
mean,
number
that
of
makes
views on the
sense,
way
to be
things
fair.
run around here.
I feel like you share your comic book collection together.
Boggy is my prime suspect, you know. The creature you're trying to protect.
Protect is the wrong word. If your suspicions were correct, we could both agree he's a creature that doesn't need protecting.
You think he might be
okay.
the murderer?
I think he's a wild animal, and
Right?
he wants to be left alone at any cost.
I mean, I guess if it was the real Boggy that's the culprit, he would have to be proven to not be an animal, because
The murder
an animal
victim.
can't be held
Since
responsible.
last night, yeah. But he was the owner of Boggy's Bog. Did she know him?
Not personally. To be
Not
honest,
in the
I'm
same
quite
way,
glad about
anyways.
it.
Okay, so we haven't unlocked the challenge. We'll have to come back to that. Let's see what clues we got.
Looks like this path leads towards the northwest corner of Boggy's Bog.
Okay.
I can't wait.
Oh boy.
Looks like this path...
Alright. What about this big
A
stump?
rather prominent tree stump looming over the wooden pathway. It's hard to ignore.
Yes. There's a tent back
I'm
here.
impressed someone managed to pitch a tent here. And I'm impressed someone would want to.
Ah, okay.
It's a colorful, boggy-themed padlock.
Alright.
He's staring into my soul.
Indeed.
It should open if I set the right number.
Well, we don't know what that would be. I don't believe. Let's see. Do we have protesting hippie? Echo is protesting for animal rights. Don't know much about the real swamp creature.
Not suspicious. Suspicious.
Oh, I see. Okay. This is suspicious.
Not suspicious. Suspicious.
No, this is suspicious. Protest has been ignored by Remington. Echo is not a talented artist or musician. This is very interesting. We got more information that we gotta get from Harper. Alright. How much do we have for him? We have almost all of his information. Not quite all of his information. Alright, so we don't necessarily know... What is this?
Looks like this path leads to
Okay, what is this?
a rather prominent tree stump looming over the wooden It's...
Okay, what is this?
These flower petals seem a little out of place, lying on the ground over there.
Are they blue flower petals? Right?
These flower petals...
Yeah, that is really suspicious. Okay.
Looks like this path leads to
Did we get all the notes for here? Let's see. We have one more. I bet it's going to be in that tent somewhere that we can't get into yet.
Looks like this path.
Wonder how we would... There's got to be a way to get in there.
Looks like this path.
Okay. Let's go ahead. Actually, let's check the notes and see where else we're missing. I think that might be one of the last places that we're missing notes for. Alright. Yeah. I think that is the last place. It's the final piece. So let's go talk to our people. We still haven't unlocked their challenge. Okay, so let's go ahead and head back to the cafe and let's talk. Let's talk to you about Richard.
You said you knew Remington?
He and I knew each other for a long time.
Tell me
I came
about
to
him,
work
Harper.
at his tourist attraction in the early days, when he needed help.
Well, what kept you here?
I know most people wouldn't want to work in a place like this. I actually like it here,
Oh?
so I was happy to oblige.
You might like it, but I still don't see why anyone would build a tourist attraction here.
Unless
Mr.
it's a
Remington
cover
has his reasons.
for a
He probably
hunting
had several. I don't presume
expedition.
to know what they all were. Even though we were friends, he had some secrets.
Of
some
course he did.
hobbies that I was happy to let him keep secret.
Secrets? Hobbies? A secret hobby?
He was a man with a dream. I can
Oh?
tell you that much.
Alright. Well, let's
He's
go
dead,
ahead and just...
But he always knew what he was getting involved with.
Okay. I think that's the first person who's given me any information
I
about
don't
that.
know everything, I'm afraid.
Let's go ahead and just ask about the rest of the
I
information.
can't help you with that one. Sorry.
That way we can at least have covered everything. I'm going to go
Why
ahead and
don't you
ask
show
about
that
the
to someone
body
else?
pieces first, because I think we'll get the most information
I don't know
with
everything,
the
I'm
Remington
afraid.
information. Alright. So, Kurt.
It's the same fabric from Mr. Remington's curtains.
Exactly. Lockpick.
I can't help you with that one.
Alright.
Sorry.
What about the hunting
That's
rifle?
Mr. Remington's old hunting rifle.
Right.
He usually keeps it around. For whatever reason. He was very fond of that thing.
For
Except
hunting
it was
buggy?
fired recently.
Uh-huh. Probably at the person coming to
It's
attack him.
Mr. Remington's fireplace poker. This slime on the handle. It's familiar for some reason.
It's the soda. That's what it is. It's the bog soda.
One of Mr. Remington's secrets. I never wanted to know the details, but these men travel the world, seeking mysterious animals to hunt. They consider myths and legends to be the ultimate prey.
Okay. Feels like I'm done talking to him. Well, we have given... Oh, we haven't asked about this.
Why don't you show that to someone else?
Alright, so now we have shown him literally all of the items. Let's make sure we have all the profiles covered. I'm going to ask him about
You have
Sally.
a lot of suspects on that list.
Indeed. And now I want to ask
It's
about
here a
Echo.
lot. I think he's been putting less effort into his protests recently. Which is a shame. I think it's an admirable cause.
Do
Okay.
you talk to him much?
Not really. Sometimes he likes to talk, just casual conversation. He asks how business is going and what everyone likes to eat. Nothing of real importance.
You're very suspicious, sir. I think, I feel like that was very important information. What people like to eat. Right. Alright. So, let's go ahead and go back to the gift shop and talk to Sally.
Hey,
Alright. Let's ask
So
him
what
about
can you tell me about your
Remington.
relationship with Richard Remington?
I didn't have one. I think I spoke to him twice, ever. He
Mm.
usually seemed really busy, but more like preoccupied.
Preoccupied? Like he was thinking about something else? Something that wasn't this tourist attraction?
Who can say? What do old men think about?
What?
hunting
What?
down
What?
Boggy.
Are you implying that I know the answer to that?
Alright, let's go ahead and ask about the rest of the
Is that one of your
items.
clues? It's nice. You can put it away now.
Alright. What about
I have
police
no
file?
idea what that is.
Of course. And probably nothing about the map, but
Where
I
are
just
you
wanna
keeping all this stuff?
cover all
In
the
your
bases.
pockets?
Now, let's ask about the interesting things.
Is that one of your clues? It's nice. You can put it away now.
Alright. What about the
I have
fireplace
no
poker?
idea what that is.
Okay. And the honey
Where are
photo.
you keeping all this stuff?
Okay, so you have
In your
no
pockets?
idea about Remington. Now, what do you think of
Yeah,
Echo?
I have a pretty good view of him from here. Anyone
Okay.
supporting animal rights is okay in my book. His protests used to have a bit more energy, though. He spends more time inside his tent these days.
What's he doing in there?
I'm
what's
happy
the
to
code?
say, I don't know.
There might be something I can ask Echo about.
Echo's poncho. Let's see. Spends less time holding. Okay, so Echo spends less time holding the protest sign because he's so terrified, and more time in his tent.
Echo spends less time holding the protest sign and more time in his tent.
And
I wonder
why?
if Echo can tell me what he's been doing that's more important than his protest.
Right, exactly. Okay. One of Sally's belongings. We already asked her about all of her belongings, right? Let's see. Is there something else? I mean, what other belongings are there? It's her
Never
pants,
mind,
right?
but I left them here last night. Now
Yeah.
they're covered in slime, and I don't want to go near them.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what else we would ask her about. We've already asked her about everything. Alright. So, let's go back to the treehouse. Let's talk to... let's talk to you. Ask about
You've been
Remington.
here so long, you must have crossed paths with Remington a few times. What
Hopefully.
did you think of him?
That man was a threat to the swamp. We'll be better off without him. Hopefully the curtain will fall on his little tourist attraction as well.
Better off? With a killer on the loose now?
There have been murderers loose in the swamp before.
Oh?
What are you talking about?
In my time here, I've seen the swamp invaded by men. By hunters. Several times.
Hunting.
Random
Wait.
question?
What about Boggy?
What's
Is
the
that
question?
why no one has seen him in 60 years?
They always fell short of
Yes.
their ultimate goal.
Yes, I did.
That just meant they came back again.
I'm still trying to
and
set
again,
everything up, though.
doing more harm each time.
But this area is protected by law, right?
It is now.
Let's
but
see.
some men have no respect for
I
laws.
got the
Of any
email
kind. They tried to get me to leave my home. I stood
day
my
before
ground.
yesterday,
Obviously.
I think.
But this whole area is a tourist
I was so
attraction now.
excited.
I doubt Remington would have
It may have
allowed
been
anyone
Saturday.
to march into Boggy's Bog with a gun and start hunting down his main attraction.
Yeah, no, I just got affiliate and I was so psyched. I was very, very happy. Okay. Let's
If you
ask
bring me
him.
something with liquid on it, I might be able to help you.
Thank you. I got to set all of my stuff up for it, but I have my my clues. That's what they're called now.
I recognize some of those men.
Oh, does she now?
Unfortunately, they've hunted in the swamp before.
Before it became a protected area?
Before that, yes. And one of them after that.
Is that Remington? And then
Let's see. First, then tap the...
it's going to be the same stuff. I'm telling you. And it's gonna be the bog
Now,
juice.
we just have to match the color of that liquid with these...
Blue and yellow makes green.
Got it! Now I know what that liquid consists of. I'll write it down in my notes.
Uh-huh.
The swamp slime. It's all the same.
Yep.
It's the exact same liquid again.
Of course it is.
There's something about that green slime.
Alright. So let's see. The something found in the treehouse and is proof that are the only reason that found at the crime scene and what do we have? What do we have? Remington's office? It's, no. So what was found? Nothing was found in the treehouse. The fireplace poker found at the crime scene, and the black leggings are covered in the same swamp slime. Well, yes.
The fireplace poker found at the crime scene and
I thought
the
that was
black
obvious,
leggings
my
are
friend.
covered in the same swamp slime. Sally's leggings. They link her with the crime scene. I'll have to ask her about it.
Okay, now we got Sally's challenge unlocked. Nice. Alright, is there any other clues? Nope. I think we're missing one piece of evidence. Let's ask her about
I'm not
Echo.
even sure who that is.
Okay, so you don't know who that is. That's fine. Let's go ahead and go right back to Sally now that we have her challenge unlocked. And let's go ahead and do it.
The black leggings you found in your bag this morning. They're covered in the same slime that was on the murder weapon.
Everything in this swamp is covered in slime.
Mm-hmm.
What's your angle, Grimoire?
The exact slime hasn't been found anywhere else. Your black leggings were part of the murderer's costume. I have proof you were wearing them during the murder.
Your black leggings were part of the murderer's costume.
Right. They were the
Costume?
legs.
Is that why someone took them out of my bag last night?
Well, you know, I don't have proof someone else took them.
If I had been wearing them when I committed a crime, do you think I would hand them over to a detective the second he shows up?
I would
Besides,
hope
look
not.
at them. What do you notice?
They look stretched out. Yeah, they're loose and stretched.
They're loose and stretched.
That's right, someone else.
Like
Someone
somebody
larger than
bigger.
I has worn these.
Exactly.
They're stretched out.
Somebody
especially
like
at the waist.
Echo.
It's pretty obvious.
So, let's see. Somebody stole them to use in their boggy costume, and then put them back in your bag when they were done?
If you say so. It's not my job to know all the details. It's my job to sell souvenirs.
It would
you
seem
want a
to be the
souvenir?
case.
Oh, my, yes. Only if you choose one for me.
You look like you could use something to wind up. You can take this
Okay.
one.
All right. Tap and hold on the toy to wind it up. Okay. Release and let it go. Well then. A small plastic toy sold at the gift shop has a cartoony appearance of Boggy. Boggy's feet are hidden in a bucket of water. Okay. I wonder. Let me ask you about
I
this.
just thought it was weird that his feet are in that little bucket all the time.
It's just part of the character, I guess. I'm surprised they don't sell some sort of boggy foot soaker.
And that would be the one product I'd consider buying.
Alright, so I think we've asked her about everything. So in theory, yeah, her information should be done. Okay, alright, so now we have all our information. Let's go back, talk to everybody. And just to cover everything.
I can't help you with that one.
Okay, that's fine. We've done all the profiles. Feels like I'm done talking to him. This is good. Now let's go back to her. Look, it's a little plastic
No,
toy.
thank you.
Okay. And we've already done all the profiles. Alright, we're done talking to her. Okay. So now I'm gonna do protest last. Let's go to the museum and talk to you.
So,
Tell me about the Boggy costume.
I found these designs for a boggy costume.
some ridiculous new merchandise for tourists to waste their money on.
No, I believe the murderer was dressed like this last night when they attacked Remington.
If they were trying to scare him out of the swamp, they should have spent more time making an accurate design.
What do you mean?
Right,
Well,
this is
design
the
some
cartoon
bizarre
character.
hybrid between the real creature and the cartoon character. It simply hasn't been researched properly.
What's wrong with it?
Well, those flippers, pure guesswork. Nothing
Exactly.
but foolish imagination. Nobody knows what Boggy's feet look like.
We do
no
now.
footprint has ever been recorded.
So tell me, Special Agent Folder, how would you do a better job researching it if nothing has ever been recorded?
Oh, well, that's, I mean, it's only a matter of taking the time to... It's just that but there's no way anyone would believe nothing but foolishness.
What can you
We've
tell me
left him
about your
flummoxed.
relationship with Richard Remington?
We didn't really have one, and now we definitely don't have one, but...
Well,
look,
I would say that's
all
true.
I can say is that he was a coward who enjoyed watering
Really?
down history for his own benefit.
What does that mean?
It means there are some chapters of this swamp's
Thank you for
history
the
that he never
follow.
wanted anyone to know about.
Did he like you
Sympathetic
sniffing around this
create.
museum all the time?
I don't think he knew, to be honest.
All right.
And even if he did, there's nothing he could have done about it. He has no right to this building. He knows that. We both know that.
Why not? It was part of his tourist attraction, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't.
All right, let's ask him about all the
I have
different
no interest in
things.
something like that.
Because we've
Obviously.
barely asked him any information about the...
You're wasting
Items
your
we
precious
have.
time, detective.
Okay.
This
Boggy
is just
hat.
a piece of junk they sell to tourists. It has no resemblance to the real creature.
Right.
A good example of how Boggy's feet are never shown in any form. They often use that little red bucket to hide them.
Yep, makes sense.
I've never seen that before, and I never want to see it again.
All right, what about the swamp juice?
I have no interest in something like that. Obviously.
All right. The bog dog.
You're wasting your precious time, detective.
All right. Now how about this one?
Is that the missing page of the journal?
Indeedy
I
it
think
is.
so.
It's an important artifact. It belongs in a museum.
Yeah, you're not wearing the right hat to be saying that.
All right. Costume
Well, this
design.
design is some bizarre hybrid between the real creature and the cartoon character.
All right. What about the headpiece?
I've never seen that before, and I never want to see it again.
All right. That's black
I have
leggings.
no interest in something like that.
Yeah, I
Obviously.
don't think they would. I'm pretty sure Echo is our. I feel like Echo has got to be our
You're wasting
culprit.
your precious time, detective.
Okay, Curtin.
I've never seen that before, and I never want to see it again.
All right, and
I
this.
have no interest in something like that. Obviously.
Okay, and the
So-
hunting photo.
You found it. I wonder who else knows about it.
Okay, interesting. What about a profile? We haven't asked you about half these.
If I
people.
cared about that person, I would know everything I need to know already.
All right. What about Sally?
Next time, only show me something if it's important. Let's make that a rule.
Okay. Oops, not profile. How about Harper?
This person is of no interest to me whatsoever.
Okay. How about Echo?
Oh, yes, I know him. He occasionally asks me about the history and biology of the swamp creature. I explained to him what the real Boggy looks like and how they changed his appearance for the cartoon character.
Why did he ask about that?
Because some people are naturally curious. You should give
Okay.
it a try sometime.
All right. So that's all the profiles. We've gotten everything out of him that we need, I think. All right. Now where to? Let's go to the clearing, I think, and then we can talk to these two.
Uh-huh.
Okay. How about the Boggy
I
costume?
found these designs for a costume. A Boggy costume.
Uh-huh. The legendary swamp creature.
Yeah, that's the one.
But these are just a child's drawings, are they not?
You think?
Perhaps. It's difficult to tell.
Okay. Let's see. Before we can ask him about Remington.
You saw Remington last night, but had you met him before? Did you know him?
I've never really spoken with him, but we've come into contact a few times. Vincent likes to handle that kind of work, and I
Right.
like to let him.
I don't
What
blame
do you think of this place? The tourist attraction, I mean.
I can't say I like the idea of a natural area like this becoming commercialized.
I know. I just can't understand why anyone would even try.
I think
All
Mr.
right.
Remington had his reasons. He looked like a man with a
Yes,
couple of secrets.
he wanted to hunt
Like what?
Boggy.
I have no idea. If I knew, they wouldn't be secrets.
All right. Now we have so
What
much
is it?
information.
Some evidence
to
from
present
last
to
night's
you.
murder? That's great. I'm sorry I have not seen that before.
You haven't been to the gift shop then, my friend.
What is it? Some evidence from last
I'm
night's murder?
hoping somebody, I'm hoping that little wind-up toy will have,
That's
the
great.
code for, Echo's tent,
I'm sorry I have not
in the
seen that
bucket,
before.
maybe? And that someone will be like, oh yeah, just
What
take
is
it
it?
out of the
Some evidence
bucket.
from last night's murder?
So I'm just gonna ask him about
That's
everything.
the food I saw Mr. Remington eating at the cafe last night.
Okay, there
Before
we
he
go.
got ill and rushed back to his office?
That's right.
This is going down in my notebook. It might be important.
It is. Alright. What about this?
That's great.
You don't care about the real Boggy? Isn't that why y'all
I'm
are
sorry I
here?
have not seen that before.
Alright. How about the
What is
costume
it?
design?
Some evidence from last night's murder?
Now, I asked you about this, and you're just kind of ignoring
That's
it.
great.
Just go away.
I'm
I don't
sorry,
care
I have
about
not
your
seen that
stuff.
before.
We got so much
What is
new
it? Some
information.
evidence
since
from
we
last
talked
night's
to him.
murder?
It's crazy. I think these were like the first people we kind of met.
That's great.
So there's so much that we could potentially
I'm
learn
sorry I
from
have
them.
not seen that before.
All right. What about the
What is
fireplace
it? Some
poker?
evidence from last night's murder?
Yes, indeed it is.
That's great.
Okay, so nothing for that. All right, now let's do the
You
profiles.
should ask someone else.
Okay. Don't know Agent 4.
Try showing it to somebody different.
Okay, or Lady Waybridge. What about Sally?
I
Do you know
really
Sally?
don't have an opinion. My apologies.
Oh, okay. How about
You should
Harper?
ask someone else.
Okay, and then last one, Echo.
Try showing it to somebody different.
Okay, so you literally have nothing else. I want to check on the status of people. So, what do we have? We have all of Remington's information. We have all of Boggy's information. We have all of his information. Or all of... Okay. Yep, we have all of this.
Uh-huh.
All of... Yes. Has a secret passionate hobby on the side. What is... that was the, he liked to... Yeah, he liked to do black and white photography. Which is not suspicious. It's fine. We're still missing one for Vanderpeer, but we're about to talk to him again. And we have almost all the information on Harper. Or we do have all the information. And supposedly we have all of Echoes. Alright, so I think for suspects... yeah, okay, we just gotta get Vanderpeer's, the last information. Okay, so tell me about the boggy costume.
What can you tell me about these designs for a boggy costume?
Nothing whatsoever.
You're sure you didn't see anything like this while you were filming yesterday? Wait, hold on a minute. What if
Don't you dare ask.
This costume isn't your doing, is it? Made for your movie, I mean?
My friend, there will be no costumed idiots within the viewfinder of my camera. I can assure you that.
What about your boggy movie?
Good.
Isn't that going to be, like, a guy in a costume, or a puppet, or one of those weird robot things?
Technology has been kind to people like me. We no longer have any need for such tomfoolery. I can create a perfectly believable swamp creature within the confines of a computer.
Nice.
Much cheaper, too.
Well, that's good. Don't have to resort to
I suppose
a cheesy
you've met
costume.
with our murder victim, Richard Remington.
Yes, I've been in and
We
out
found
of this
his
place
card.
for a while now. Naturally, I've crossed paths with Remington a number of times.
Okay.
Good value, that one. A real raconteur, you know.
You liked him? So far, I'm getting the impression he wasn't the most popular guy around here.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it.
That much is clear, isn't it? The man obviously slipped up somewhere.
Right.
Made an enemy or two, and bam, that's that. You just can't be too careful, can you?
Yeah, I think he did have an enemy or two.
It would seem so.
But you liked him.
I respected him. Good head on his shoulders. Good business sense, that man. He understood how to make things work for him.
Okay. Alright, let's go ahead and
I don't really have time
ask
to be
him
looking at
about
items
the rest
from your
of the items.
collection.
This will take
You won't be
just a
getting
moment.
very far discussing that with me.
Because-
Try someone less important.
They
If you want an
randomly
autograph,
reveal
a plain sheet of paper
information,
will suffice, thank you.
which is like things you wouldn't necessarily
I
expect.
don't really have time to be looking at items from your collection.
Alright.
You won't be getting very far discussing that with me.
Of
Try
course not.
someone less important.
Less important.
If you want an autograph,
So
a plain
modest,
sheet
too.
of paper will suffice, thank you.
He's just like, everybody.
I don't really have
likes
time to be
me.
looking at items from your collection.
See, I'm curious, like, I wouldn't have necessarily thought that
You
the
won't be
Bog
getting very
Dog
far discussing
would
that with
have
me. Try
gotten
someone
information
less
from Burley,
important.
but we did, so, like I said, you
If
never
you want
know.
an autograph, a plain sheet of paper will suffice, thank you.
Maybe, what will he think of the hidden
I don't
page?
really have time to
Nope.
be looking at items
See, you're
from
not
your
even paying attention.
collection.
You would think if you were interested in Boggy that you would
You won't
actually
be
pay
getting very
attention.
far discussing that with me.
But you're
Try
too
someone
focused
less
on the
important.
swamp. Alright.
If you
I
want an
just wanna-
autograph, a
I
plain sheet
know
of
it
paper will
says,
suffice,
it
thank
feels
you.
like I'm done talking to him, but it said that on
I don't
somebody
really have
else,
time to be
and then I
looking at
got some more
items from your
information, so
collection.
kind of makes me want to just
You won't
be
be
a
getting very far
completionist
discussing
and
that with me.
showing
Try
everything.
someone less important.
Alright, now we're on to the crime.
If you want an autograph, a plain sheet of paper
You really
will
thought I
suffice,
wanted
thank
you to sign a rifle? What kind of a lunatic
I don't
are
really
you?
have time to be looking at items from your collection.
But you have plenty of time to talk to me.
You won't be getting very far discussing that with me.
Alright.
Try someone less important.
Okay.
If you
we
want an
get we got
autograph, a
times
plain
8,
sheet
so
of
we got
paper
all the
will suffice,
information
thank
we
you.
need from everybody. So I think that's all of that. let's just do the profiles real fast.
You want me to sign a photograph for you?
Do you know any of these
I'm
people?
a busy man.
Have you seen
This doesn't
her?
look like it's worth my time.
Okay, so you haven't seen her. What about Harper?
I simply don't have time to help you with this.
Okay. You just haven't been to the cafe, I suppose?
You want me to sign a photograph for you?
No. I want you to tell me about
I'm a
these
busy
people, you
man,
crazy.
and this doesn't look like it's worth my time.
Okay, so you are indeed useless. Okay, so we've talked to Sally. We talked to... Yeah, we talked to Harper. We just talked to these two. We talked to her, him, and we can't really talk to them. So I guess it's time to go all the way to Echo. Alright. Let's see.
No thanks, my friend.
Okay. There's nothing, but we can do the challenge.
I
Okay.
heard you've been spending less time protesting recently and more time, in your tent. Normally I wouldn't pry, but it's my job to
I'm
ask.
touched people have even noticed something like that. I usually get the impression everyone else is doing their best to ignore me.
So,
Okay.
you admit it's true?
You can put your notebook away. There isn't really any reason for it. Nothing worth writing down, at least.
Well, if it's not worth writing down, maybe it's worth hearing.
In that case, you'd forget it.
How do you know? Maybe it would echo in my mind.
So
If you
funny.
take a guess and get it right, I promise not to deny it.
Let's work out why
Okay.
Echo was hidden away in his tent.
Okay.
Notebook time.
Alright. I have a silly nickname. Why has Echo been hidden away in his tent? Is he making... What? Is he afraid? Wait, what? I don't know. Let's see. What would this be? Okay, he's not... I don't think he's afraid of the tax man. Is this a ghost? Is it bad weather? Maybe. But I'm gonna go with Boggy. Well, I don't know. Weather? Weather or Boggy? Did he imagine that Boggy's out there?
You've been in your tent, hiding from Boggy.
Okay,
Why
no.
not?
We got it right. Okay. All right. Well,
I think it's time I went to talk to Officer James.
we got 100% of just about everything. We're only at 97% somewhere. All right, the beginning of the end. What are we missing? Is it we're at the maybe it's because we got to go to the swamp top?
A lot of fog and a lot of trees. I can't wait to visit that area.
Okay.
You finally returned. Well, did you find the swamp creature? Where is he?
No, not exactly. I didn't find him.
I didn't find him.
What? You're not getting paid to wander about aimlessly, Grimoire. Get back out there.
I don't need to.
I don't need to.
Alright, the final chapter. Boggy's criminal record.
Why not? I thought he was our prime suspect.
Not anymore.
Didn't you find photographic evidence of Boggy from last night? Let me see that photo.
Okay. The black and white photo.
If that's not Boggy, what is it?
It is somebody in a costume.
I found designs for the costume in a trash can.
Right.
Not only that, I collected all the pieces of the costume myself. Well, nearly all of them. There's still the one
But
that...
the footprints at the scene of the crime! How can you prove these don't belong to a real creature?
Because we know what he actually looked like.
How can you prove these don't belong to a real creature?
We have the missing page. Is that what we need?
What's this? I thought there were no records of a footprint anywhere.
No public records. The footprints at the crime scene don't match the ones on this page. They were just a product of these slippers.
Right.
Part of the costume.
But Grimoire, this costume, it doesn't have claws of any kind.
Of course not.
How do you explain the 3 wounds on the victim's chest?
Easy.
The prongs match up with the wounds perfectly.
Yep.
The handle's even covered in slime, see?
Ah, but this swamp slime was one of the reasons Buggy became a suspect in the first place. Surely this only incriminates the creature further.
You'd think so, wouldn't you? But that slime, it's not exactly what you think.
Exactly. It is swamp juice.
This stuff is an uncanny resemblance to the so-called swamp slime. A bunch of it was stolen from the storeroom of the cafe, which reminds me.
What is that exactly?
A poisoned hot dog. It's the second reason that the murderer broke into the storeroom.
Yep.
He put this green powder on the entire supply.
Just so he
to
could
make sure.
poison Remington.
To make sure of what?
To make sure no one would ever eat at the cafe again, to make sure everyone in the swamp would be poisoned, to make sure Remington got ill and had to return to his office.
To make sure Remington got ill and had to return to his office.
We're getting all the
Remington went back
answers.
to his office? Alone?
Yep. Alright.
I've been looking through your evidence, Grimoire. One piece in particular seems critical to me. I think we need to work out.
Video footage? Vincent Vanderpeer filmed it last night. At the exact moment of the murder, I believe.
Well, exactly. I think we can both agree these sounds in the background. They're essential in our mystery. Could you talk me through them?
Okay.
Just rearrange the descriptions on the left to match the sounds on the right.
Okay.
Drag them around and keep swapping until you're happy with the order.
Okay.
And if you want to hear the sounds again, you can tap on them.
Okay.
No problem. I can always check my case file if I want to go over my notes.
Okay. So we have the creaking, which is somebody is on. Let's see, Remington. Let's see. Let's see. Culprit opens Remington's office door. Remington cries out in shock and falls backwards. Remington fires his hunting rifle at the culprit. Oh, that's gonna be Remington cries out in shock as Boggy appears. Remington fires his hunting rifle at the culprit. Let's see. Culprit grabs the metal poker. Remington cries out in shock and falls backwards. Remington rips off some curtain fabric as he falls. Remington lands on the planks outside his office, and then the culprit drops the metal poker in the office.
Ah, excellent. There's just 2 small details bothering me. First of all, if Remington ripped off a piece of his curtains, why wasn't it found at the crime scene? What happened to it?
Alright, it was shoved into the headpiece.
Turns out the murderer took that piece of fabric and concealed it inside the head of the costume.
Yep.
Then he fled the crime scene to hide all the parts in different areas of the swamp.
Right?
Ah, well, that's my problem. If Remington fired his rifle, how did the assailants survive and manage to escape? Did Remington miss his target?
At point blank? A man of his experience? I don't think so.
No.
In fact, the answer to that question is the very last link in our chain. The one thing that has eluded me so far. I'll drag the clue items from the left onto my drawing here, and we'll see what happens when we compare the pieces I collected with the original design I found.
Alright. So we have the arms, we have the head, we have the feet, and then we have the pants. We're missing the yellow poncho.
Wait! You never found the body piece.
Yep.
The torso.
Yep.
You're right, and I never would have found it.
Right.
Not lying around. Not like the others.
Because it was being worn?
What does this have to do with the murderer surviving the rifle shot?
This torso is probably made up of some thick material.
Right.
Something covering the culprit's entire upper body.
It's the
I
poncho,
believe
right?
It may have even been enough to
To
soften...
soften the impact from a bullet. Aha!
Exactly.
Exactly.
Well, let's put your theory to the test. Where is that last piece of the costume?
I know where it is. It's at protest.
How? We looked everywhere. Not a single clue.
Simple.
But did we look everywhere?
He's still wearing it.
Exactly.
I don't know what you want with me.
See, it's
Sounds
right
like
there.
you two were smart enough to uncover the real criminal in this swamp, and lucky enough to have somebody else deal with him for you. You worked it out. He had his rifle on him. He got half a glance at me and pulled the trigger without hesitation.
But why would he do that? You were dressed as Buggy. He shouldn't be pointing his gun at a unique scientific specimen.
That's
not to
'cause he
mention
was
his
hunting
main
Buggy.
attraction.
Whoops.
It doesn't
You're
make
right,
sense,
it doesn't
does
make
it?
sense. It does make sense.
Not
He was
unless
hunting.
you're in on the secret.
Alright, the secret. The hunting photo leads me to believe that Richard Remington was here to hunt Boggy.
The hunting photo leads me to believe Richard Remington was here to hunt
Exactly.
Boggy.
Yes. The hunter and the hunted.
A secret society, an order of hunters, seeking out mysterious and elusive creatures.
The order goes further than this one man, and much further than this one swamp.
The whole thing is kind of distressing. I knew something was wrong as soon as I stepped into that office.
I'm glad you've finally come around. It's not just
But what about Remington? He was a member of this order?
He made Boggy his own personal project, his own obsession.
Yep.
For years he hunted the creature, the potential perfect addition to his collection.
Disturbing
But he
collection.
owned the tourist attraction. He set it up himself, didn't he?
He did. It was just his way of forming a legal loophole.
Right.
Since the area became protected, he and his friends were unable to come here for hunting anymore.
Yeah.
Boggy's Bog was just a front for his own little game. A man pursuing a creature.
A creature that might not even exist.
Right.
And that's why Remington kept a rifle nearby at all times?
Well, exactly. He didn't want to take any chances.
Now, don't you see? I did this place a service. Did
You
Boggy a
can't go
service.
around killing
That
people.
creature, he can live in peace again.
Can he? You tried to frame him for murder. You
Yeah,
wanted
that's
everyone to think he
true.
was some kind of ruthless predator?
Well, think about it. Once he became suspected of murder, they'd have no choice but to shut this whole place down. Everyone would finally realize they had no business here.
But he's not a killer. You didn't have the right. How can you know what Boggy wanted? But you didn't have the right.
You didn't have the right. You shouldn't have your...
Detective,
You. It's...
Okay.
it's finished. Well, don't be angry. You should be glad. It's
Mhm.
finally time to leave the swamp. You
Okay.
have another job to do.
Oh boy.
I don't know.
Not that it makes any difference to somebody like you, but I never intended to kill him. Just to scare him. Convince him Boggy wasn't going to let him live here in peace any longer. But, true to form, he had his rifle on him.
Yes, yes,
You
he
worked
did.
out the rest yourself.
You're right. It doesn't make any difference. It makes a difference. ... I'm not gonna agree with him because you still don't kill a person.
It makes a difference.
Well, Mr. Everstone, I'm afraid you'll still have to come with us.
Yeah.
Fortunately, there's a police station just a few miles down the...
Hey, wait!
Oh, he's running. He's hiding in the tree. And that's where Boggy's home really is. I knew it. It's Buggy. The real Buggy. Oh, now he wants to be left alone. Poor guy. What's in here? This hat.
Looks like you solved more than one mystery tonight.
Nice. So, well, that was fun. I really like that game. That was super fun. I hope they make some more. I'm going to have to check it out and see if they do. I like the, it was a unique way of doing a mystery game. We still had to figure it out, but it was interesting the way it was presented, and we had to figure things out. Not just a graphical novel, but actually detecting. So I really enjoyed that. I hope that you guys liked that.
Grimoire.
Okay, what do we got now?
Well,
nice hat.
What did they decide to do?
We had Mr. Everstone questioned. He was happy to tell us everything he knew.
Okay.
A number of rumors going around the department have been confirmed.
And Remington's office?
Searched down to the last detail.
Okay.
Well, we agree with you, but I know what you're thinking. I'd love to put an end to it, just the same as you. But there's always...
Are we going after them?
We'd better be.
It's the girl. Oh boy, to be continued. I guess that means there will be another one. So keep an eye out for that, guys. And whenever we do that, then you'll be able to see that. I hope that you guys enjoyed this one. I had a lot of fun with it. And if you like this kind of content, please make sure to like, subscribe, follow, share, all that good stuff. If you want to watch live, we're on Twitch at twitch.tv/Liara27. I have my schedule posted in the About section. And if you want to see which games I'll be playing each day, I post them on twitter.com/Liara27. And I will see you guys in the next one. Until then, bye.